Go. Okay, so midterm meeting. This is just, I'd like to hear from all of you, like how your internship is going, what are you doing there? Just give like us a little like summary of the work that you're doing at your internship. Um, Jody and Laura, you could both sort of like talk about since you're at the same internship, you could talk about that together. Um, so how about you two start?
Laura, you on?
Hi there.
So,
Yeah, I'll start. I guess I'll start. Yeah, so Jody and I are both working at Kitchen Design Partners in Northbrook,
Mhm.
which is owned by Nancy Jacobson. And Nancy has had the business for, I think, about 20 years.
Mhm.
It's a small, like one storefront showroom. I think Jody mentioned in a previous class, Jody's been there for several months longer than I have. And, just kind of happenstance, we have sort of separate roles for the time being, just because I happen to have taken a class where I was working with chief architect. And so I'm doing more of the drawing side of things. And Jody's doing more of like the project management side of things. It'll be interesting to see like how that moves forward. I think for now, for me, it's been great, getting practice with the program and like having to use that repeatedly every day. It can be a little bit frustrating because I'm new to it. And so when you're in a small environment like ours, there isn't someone sitting next to me that knows the program. Nancy does not work in chief architect. And Jody is learning 2020 at Harper. So that's been a little bit of a challenge, but I think I said previously, it's been really nice to work in the small environment because even when I'm technically not doing something, I'm hearing it being done. So
Yeah.
that's helpful just to be, we're in one small room, all three of us. And so you hear a lot of the conversations back and forth. And Nancy's been really great. She's a very nice person. And I think enjoys mentoring and teaching. So she's really forthcoming with information. And I think she is in the boat where she would like us to become more self-sufficient and, have her, after 20 years, have the ability to kind of, go away for a week and not panic that nobody is in the office. So I think that's, we're all sort of moving towards the same goal, which helps.
and Laura's correct. Nancy's kind of changing her business model a bit, where previously she had a person in office doing most of the design work, and Nancy would do all the sales, meeting with customers, and things like that. And then the person would design. As we are coming on, Nancy would like to get both of us up and running where we handle all of our own projects. We meet with customers, we network, and we also do our own designs with her overseeing our projects. That's the ultimate goal. We're both at various stages of being able to to meet those goals. Nancy mostly works in chief architect, and that is something that we just do not learn at Harper. So like Laura said, it's something that I have to pick up. It's what I'm going to be focusing in on this fall, because it is kind of hurting me at this point that I don't know it. But I am getting so much more knowledge on the ordering aspect, just the minute details of design, working with customers, the business side of it, pricing and quoting and all the little fun stuff. So it's tremendous, such useful information we're getting and so helpful. And Laura and I had talked, even today we were talking like, we both feel a little overwhelmed at times because there are so many details to know and understand that you just cannot learn in the classroom. You really have to learn in person. But Nancy has been very good at giving us projects and showing us how to do it, and also giving us a little space to figure things out on our own.
That's good. Good. That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Well, everyone get after the department about chief architect.
I've been trying, and I was told AutoCAD is the way to go, but unfortunately, things move in different directions all the time.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can try to imagine more like extra classes, even like after you graduate, creating
Yes.
even like a continuing ed or interior design where you would learn things like Photoshop or chief architect. So things that are useful that our employers want, but even within the 72 credits for the associate's degree, there's more to know than can be fit into that.
Absolutely. And I'll probably try to take an online course of Chiefs somehow.
Yeah.
From somewhere this fall, because I do need to be up and running on that as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Paula, you are at Maya Romanoff, yes?
Yeah.
And
Yes,
how is
I
that
am.
going?
Oh, well, so I've been doing some Photoshop. I took a class last summer and I'm getting used to it. And I'm doing some Photoshop in there for presentations. Also getting familiar with all the wall coverings and how they produce that, manufacture those. And also I'm doing internship in the product development. So I'm getting involved in all like the wall covering decisions, like some changes that they have to do for development and all that. That's what
Cool.
I'm doing. Yeah.
That's nice. Did you take the Photoshop class at Harper?
Yeah, I did.
So is that in the art department?
Maybe. It wasn't elective, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was, I know they teach Photoshop class, like some of the digital media in like in the art and design department. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's there are classes in it at Harper. So those of you interested in, having just doing a little bit of extra coursework to pick up some extra skills, that's a good idea. So you're working in their product development,
Yeah.
and so as an intern working in product development, they're kind of letting you participate in
Yeah.
that work.
Yeah, just a little bit for now. But yeah, like selecting some color changes for the wall covering like for the next collection. And yeah, just getting ideas and all
Yeah.
that.
Cool. So you get to see how they're doing.
Yeah,
And that's good.
that too. Yeah.
That's good. And are you surprised by anything you're learning? Like that you didn't quite expect to happen?
Yeah, well, actually, I talked to my supervisor today that I wanted to be more involved like in the sales part where they meet with clients and the projects and all that. So that's what I'm gonna do next. So that's, that I'm gonna learn that too. I
Cool.
mean, shadow a little bit of that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good. Well, it's a really good company, Maya Romanoff. And
It is.
it's nice that you got the internship there.
Yeah. Thanks.
Right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marielle, tell us about your internship, Marielle, is at the place where you've been working.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Tell us who that is or where that is.
So I work for Gosling Group. We're in Park Ridge, and my roles are, my title is project manager and designer. So I'm pretty much part of the whole design process, which is really great. I lean much more heavy in the PM side of things, but our team is so small. We're a team of 5 people that we like being intermingled in all of the stages of the process is really beneficial. So, for example, like I'm on site doing helping, or we kind of team the we like tag team, sorry, the measuring of a site, and then I take those and make an ECD. And then as a team, we work on the conceptual development together, and then me and this another designer, like she'll pull all the selections and then I'll create the renderings and we work together on that. And then once we're executing and I've pulled bids and worked with our operations manager, then, we build the proposal and present that to the client, and they approve it and they're like, yes, we're going to pay for all this. Doesn't matter how much money. I'm just kidding. And then, yeah, and then we get going and we usually work with a general contractor. And yeah, so I'm really heavy in talking with the trades and the contractors. So I'm on site a lot to oversee how they're executing, like, for example, tile and plumbing, and seeing the walls open, and, dealing with remodeling problems as they come up. And
Okay. Can you tell me or all of us one remodeling problem that you've encountered recently?
let's see. Well, I would think probably one of the really worst days that I had was our cabinet maker is really challenging to work with, and we're not going to be working with him in the future. We've been gathering other people. So in the middle of this one project, you have your stages of the demo process and the rough-ins, and I kept trying to get him to come out to see the site once it had been demoed, to do another measure. Like, we have what we were expecting the dimensions for the kitchen to be, but then, you want to have it come out once or twice to see what it's actually going to be. And there was one day where we had, like, I don't know, I want to say there were like 10 contractors in this 900 square foot apartment. And it was the most intense, stressful thing, because we had framers who had already started their work. We had our electrician, and he was on site and he had already started doing the rough-ins for his work. And then the cabinet guy, who I'd been trying to get to come out for like 2 months, to go over these details, he finally made it happen that day. And it was like down to the wire of like the last anyway, just kind of stressful. And then he gets there and he's like, well, this is wrong and we don't have enough space. And as he's saying it, while like these other trades are working and they're hearing this, and it was just like really unprofessional and really stressful, because you have to defend yourself, and you have to think about how you're going to solve the problem right then and there, in the midst of this, in the midst of like all these other people who are listening and watching you. And kind of, I don't know, it was just a really not ideal situation.
So how did you solve it?
Um, staying calm, and fortunately wasn't by myself. We had our other employee with us, and we were able to like calm the cabinet maker down, because he was also freaking out and like pointing fingers at us, and just be calm. Okay, let's just measure this out again. What do we need? What do we have to change? Like what are our parameters? And eventually we got to the bottom of it and decided that we needed to extend the wall like a few inches to accommodate the crown at the top. Like was really a big concern if we wouldn't have enough space to accommodate the crown that would be exposed. So eventually it was fine, and that kitchen has been installed and it looks really beautiful, and it worked out. But in that moment I learned a lot, because I never want to be in that situation again if I
Yeah.
can help it.
Yeah.
Just curious, Marielle, was that like an independent custom kitchen builder?
It was I think so, from what you're saying. I'm like he basically is our representative for, he's the connection to the shop that
Got
makes
it.
the
Yeah.
cabinets. So he is our representative, and he does all the measure, and he does all the facilitating, and he does the delivery and lead time. He gets our order in the queue into production, and finishes it out.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, not there's like all kinds of people. There's really reliable people and really, really talented people. And then not everyone is made to work together. And some people just have different priorities in relationship too. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
You got to show up.
yeah, and people really some people are fine with trying to walk all over you too, especially, I mean, as a woman and working with so many men in this industry, I'm just always like ready to go,
Yeah.
ready to like have to extra defend myself. And it's not like everyone I work with is difficult. Most people are really lovely and respectful, but you just kind of, at least in my experience, I just know I just have to be really prepared before I go on a site.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. That's pretty long-winded. I hope that wasn't more than you wanted to know.
It's good to hear. I mean, it's a good real story of what it's really like to, especially being a project manager. So you are on site, you are the person that communicates directly with the contractors as they're executing the work.
Yeah.
So that's a
That's a
pro.
challenge. Pro.
So
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Oh, sorry.
yes. So
Yes. So, thank you.
Duffy, can you hear me? Can I
yes.
share?
Yes.
I have to hop off at 8 because I have a client meeting. So can I do mine real quick?
Yes, go right. Yes. That's great.
Yes, right, yes, that's great.
Okay, sounds good. So hi guys, it's Lauren. I'm working right now. I'm interning at Kalia Stone Boutique. So it's a stone supplier out of Elk Grove, and we have a showroom down in the city across from the mart too. So I really wanted to work there because I love utilizing stone in a lot of my designs. So I really wanted to learn more about the material and just like how to use stone, how to really like have all the considerations around that. So Kalia, I think, started in 2012, and it was started by Kristen Schlomer. I don't know, I know some people work with them, like I know the Gosling group works with them. at times. So what I've been doing for my internship has been, I've been doing a lot with like what they call their stone specialists, so their sales reps pretty much. So I've been with them, and then designers or homeowners that do come in, and we go through, we have 4 warehouses in Elk Grove. So we have marble, we have quartzite, we have dolomites, we have semi-precious stones. So we have a lot of different natural stone that I've been learning about, learning the different properties, learning about the different uses, how you can use it in different spaces, different finishes, edges, just a lot of detail on that. So that's been really cool. So I've been like walking through, doing like walkthroughs with, like I said, whether it be designers coming in with homeowners that are just popping in to look at things. Sometimes you get like a whole lot of people of like the homeowner, the designer, and like a fabricator even comes in. So I've been learning a lot about that process, which has actually been really, really helpful. I feel like throughout my experience in school, I like need to know the like kind of how things work behind the scenes. So at first I was like, is this a good idea to like take an internship with, you know, kind of more of like a supplier or somewhere that's more of a showroom? But I'm glad because I'm learning a lot of like, how do designers get their stuff? Whether like, I know stone's different from, you know, all the different trades, but like, I'm excited that I like understand that behind the scenes now. And I think another thing that's been really valuable has been like watching their sales processes and learning like how to sell a product, how to sell your idea, understanding pricing, and all of that. So yeah, I've been doing walkthroughs. I've gone on some external like sales presentations. So doing presentations about the product, kind of watching how they sell the product to people. I've been there for some of their marketing events. So we did like 4 different little events over the summer. So like Ask a Fabricator. We did one where they host people, or like there was one that was like a tour of Italy. So it was one of the guys that like monitors the quarries. So he did a talk on stone. So that's been really nice for the education too. And then I've been helping with some like inventory stuff too, learning their systems. Been using Trello, which is nice because I feel like I've seen that on some designers like posts about job posts. So just learning that system, and yeah, a lot of shadowing. I think like I'm hoping to advocate to do a little more of my own work, like potentially, I don't know if that's going to look like actually like doing a walkthrough with a client, because that's a little bit more of the sales roles, but trying to figure out how I can take a little more of an active step into those things. So maybe I was thinking about like, it sounds a little silly, but like answering their phone, which like feels intimidating to me because I have no idea what's on the other side. But yeah,
Sure.
so
Well,
that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, that,
you know, the questions that you'll get, um, will sort of like give you ideas. So you can't predict, like, someone's gonna ask. It'll direct you
Mhm.
into something that you. So answering the phones is a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Cool. It's good.
Is anyone else hearing a weird echo?
Yes, I am also getting.
I am as well.
Okay. It may have been, the delay, Lauren is in her car.
Gotcha.
So, okay, thank you, Lauren. All right. Kayla, tell us about what's going on with your internship. Oh, your
Got
it.
Thank you. So for my internship, I got a job at Steinhoffel's Furniture, and I basically got hired there as a designer. But I haven't done anything alone with clients yet. So I've been training since March at the Crystal Lake location. And I've been to like other locations, like shadowing their designers, and see like what they do with the space planning, what software they use. It's nothing as crazy as like CAD and like chief architect and stuff like that, because it's just like retail. But so I've been doing or kind of observing that, as well as on the sales floor with like the furniture and like learning all the vendors and special ordering, stuff like that. But then I'll be at the Schaumburg location soon, which then I'll start actually doing the designing. So that'll be interesting. But I feel like it's been very helpful. Commission is kind of scary, but that's something that you'll learn, I guess, or as it goes, you know. And if it's not for me, it's not for me, but it's an experience. So I'm excited to see what happens when I actually like take on the clients. But yeah, just like going through like presentations and how they organize, and how they go about like their own process. I've been on like measuring, and I did one recently, and she kind of had me just like measure everything, and then she like wrote it down. So
Cool.
yeah, that's what's been going on.
When you say you'll be designing,
Mhm.
what exactly like and like what exactly is that like does that involve?
So basically, there's like hours that the customers can purchase. So there's like design packages. And so there's like 6, 9, 12, and 25, and each like have their own perks. So it's like, you know, free delivery if you get a 25-hour, plus like 20% off VIP protection. So it's like that kind of stuff. And then it goes down from there. And basically, we will go over like what they don't like, walk around the store, see what interests them, have them sit and stuff. And then I will, or the designers will, go out and measure and do all of that, and then do the floor plans. And then eventually they'll do, so like space planning and everything like that. And then they'll create like a presentation. So it's like a 2-hour presentation, and they'll go through everything and then like walk the store and like kind of have the customers be like, okay, yeah, I like this, I don't like this. And then as well as like accessories and like all of that stuff. But we can like go outside Steinhoffel's if they want, but like obviously we want them to purchase from the store. But we have other vendors that we could go to as well.
Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like you are someone they come to you and they want like a custom either
And a lot of it is custom, yeah. Most of it, yeah, if they want like a different fabric and stuff like that, and they can change the arm style, they can do their own pillows, they can do a different seat cushion if they want. But it's just more, usually it's yeah, more customizable, and usually like more rooms, or like someone's moving. So then that's usually why someone would do it. Or if they seriously have no clue what they're doing, then yeah.
oh, it's a good way to learn about how the furniture business works.
Yeah, like even mattresses too, because they have mattresses there as well. And we went to like the Beauty Rest like factory or whatever in Wisconsin. So like we walked through and saw like how all of that was built or like put together. So that was interesting. And then vendor fairs coming up, so like we'll learn a lot there too. So a lot of information.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sandra.
Yes. All right. So I am working at Rebecca Bobroff Design. Rebecca knew Duffy, and basically she is looking to expand her company. So I feel very lucky to get the opportunity to work with her. So what we've been doing is, so she has a client, she's mostly doing residential, but she has done some commercial. But basically what I'm doing with help with clients is mostly I am helping a lot within the drawings. So I'm doing a lot of AutoCAD 3D renderings for their what's it called, for their custom furniture. So we have like a custom banquette, and then we have a custom like cabinetry set with a Murphy bed, and then we have some custom furniture in the living room, and it's like a built-in TV with a fireplace. And so I'm doing the 3D renderings for that through AutoCAD 3D. I'm creating furniture from plans that have already been created. And then I'm taking that, putting it onto 3D rendering software, and then presenting her with that so that she can then show that to clients. She's been taking me around a lot of places as well, just so like I know her people that she works with. So we went to like the Arlington Design Center. We went to NeoCon to see people and her reps at the Mart. And then at the Arlington Design Center, we met her reps there, and she used to work there, so she knew a lot of people. And then we went to the apartment and did field measures to do our own floor plan with. A lot of the floor plan, unfortunately, was very off. It did say on the floor plan that the dimensions are approximate. It was a floor plan given by the building. And by approximate, apparently they meant some places were about a foot off, which does affect a lot of custom cabinetry. Surprise, surprise. So luckily everything fits. It's more so that like we may have more space on the wall than we thought we did, which comes into play with custom cabinetry because the banquette we're working in, it's like the kitchen, and then there's the wall cut off, and then there's the wall for the banquette. So when creating that, we were scared that we would have too much space between the end of the wall and the start of the banquette. Because there's an outlet there, and then there's the switches, which we didn't care that it would cover those because we could build them into the banquette, but we were worried that there would be too much wall space, for example. So it's a lot of, we were working, you know, she basically has her meetings with the client, discovers all of that. I haven't personally met with the client myself. I'm assuming I will be once it starts to roll and the custom furniture starts to be shown to the clients. But I know that that is really what we've been focusing on. And then her showing me her reps and who she gets stuff from, so that I am aware of who we use in the industry. And that's really important to know. So that's basically what I've been doing. So.
You've also been doing some hand drawing?
Not hand drawing yet. Okay. I've been doing some hand drawing personally for myself so that I understand the 3D software. But I did speak with Rebecca about perspective drawings when I first got hired and all that. But she has been having me focus mostly on the 3D renderings throughout the software, since they're easy to edit, because I can send her over the drawing and then she can, you know, I'm teaching her how to import materials and select materials in there. So it's easy to send to her or the other workers she has, Hope. And then they can move on and fix stuff up as they want as well.
I know we talked about that. But the hand drawing helps you though? Yes.
Oh, 100%. Because, you know, again, quick sketches are so nice to have.
Yeah.
1 second. I have to hydrate. But quick sketches are so easy to have, especially when we were like on site, for example. And we were trying to figure out like, okay, what can we do with the banquette? How will it look like? Maybe the shelves. It was so quick and easy to be like, okay, well, this is what it's going to look like. Here's the shelves. And I was able to kind of draw it out really quick, just like 5-minute sketch. And then it was like, oh, wait, that might look good, or that might not look good. And we decided like, oh, where the pole starts, that's around where they're going to be the shelves start, because we want them in the living room. And hand drawing, even just quick sketches, helps to communicate my vision to her, and then her be like, oh, well, this won't work because of this, or this will work, and this is really cool. And then, you know, hand drawing the elements before putting them into 3D AutoCAD helps, because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because 3D AutoCAD definitely is like, where's XYZ going? Who knows? We'll figure it out while we're doing it.
Mhm.
And you know, sometimes you get the wrong angle and the line is drawn here when you need it here. So just drawing it out.
It
Thanks,
helps,
puppy.
it helps you draw it, like, by drawing it, you imagine it ahead of time,
Yes, exactly that.
and then you have a better idea of what you're doing with CAD.
100%.
Good to know. Thank you.
Mhm.
How was NeoCon?
It was really awesome. We went one day. We met at like 10 a.m. and we blinked and it was already like 3 p.m. We had a meeting with one of her friends from Harper that works for Design Flooring. They were unveiling some new tiles.
Yeah.
So we got to go to that, and I got to meet some new people there. She's really like bringing me around the industry, and I feel like I'm meeting a lot of people that are like really good connections that have like crazy talent.
Yes,
So really
Oh.
awesome.
very good. Okay. Thank you, Sandra.
Mhm.
And, all right, next, Donica.
Hi, everyone. So I just recently got my internship thanks to Duffy. So I work for Intern Designer. She's based in Elmhurst. Her name is Sabrine Madden. And I'm just helping her. She has like quite a few projects this summer. So one will be just a condo in Hyde Park that needs some furnishing and freshening up. So it's newly purchased. The client needs to move in by August. And then, so I've been working on that primarily. And then there will be a few other projects. There's a house in Ann Arbor, a kitchen, and then a commercial space. So far I accompanied Sabrine. We went to do the measurement of the condo, and you know, we met the client there too. And then I also was like, so she uses Revit. I did a floor plan for that condo in Revit. And then I was like with her on a Zoom meeting when she kind of discussed and gave a proposal to the client. And now I'm kind of helping with furniture sourcing. It's kind of challenging because there's not so much to do and the budget is really small. So I'm kind of having those issues. Like, in school, you never deal with the budget. And then all of a sudden, you have so much money and things cost this much and you kind of need to do a design with it. So what do you do? Basically, those are the challenges. She uses Revit and she also uses InDesign, which we didn't do in school, and Photoshop. So just we've been all talking about like what are deficiencies, which programs. Oh, I think that everybody uses the different program and things kind of develop so fast that you just need the basics, and then when you find a job, you'll see what you need, which program.
Yeah, to be fair to Harper, it would be like maybe like an extra semester to teach every program that other people would want you to know.
Yes, and it's like
Just to
some
introduce.
programs, she's like, oh, that we did. She's like, oh, I don't know what that is. So I think we just need to know the basics, or maybe like the CAD is kind of most difficult thing. Okay, it's great that we had Revit, but also with Revit, it's, when you're in school and then you kind of stumble upon a challenge, there's Carl who you can ask, and sometimes in the middle, oh, like this is not working, what do I do now? So that's interesting too.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's, I think one of the nice things about this conversation for the midterm is for everyone to hear about the range of things that you're all doing. Um, and, but yeah, so you did know Revit,
Yes,
and so that's
Oh.
one of the reasons that you could get this internship.
yes.
Good. Very good. Have you done any Photoshop or InDesign?
No, I haven't. I did sign up for like Adobe. They have like a student price for a year, like it's $20 per month. And I'm kind of like, it doesn't look like it's too difficult. I think with all these programs, you just need practice. And then Photoshop, I feel like a lot of people know it. I just never used it before, but it is
Yeah.
what it is.
In Photoshop, it depends on what you're trying to do with it.
Yeah.
Are you trying to make an illustration, or are you trying to just like, I mean, I guess at this point, you don't need Photoshop just to edit photos. 20 years ago, it was like more accessible, and it was what people used for editing photos. Now, like, just every computer comes with a photo editing, software. And so Photoshop is more for more sophisticated stuff.
Yes.
So, okay, that's good. I'm glad you got that.
I'm glad to. I was starting to get worried.
Well, it happens. It's just happens. It's not for, sometimes it's like class begins and it's like still not getting it. And then, so I'm glad that we found Sabrine.
Yes, me too.
Good. Very good. Thank you, Donica.
You're welcome.
And Robin, have you found one yet?
No, I have not. So I have my resume together and was just going to be reaching out to Cindy, who I emailed you about today. And then I also sent my resume into another design firm in Park Ridge. And this is a designer architect who I actually spoke with before starting my journey at Harper. And he kind of guided me into what I needed to learn and where I should go for that education. He suggested the 2-year program at Harper. And I've kept in touch with him. So I don't think he's looking for an intern himself at the moment, but he said that he'd be willing to pass my name on to other designers that he knows in the industry. So that's good. And then in the meantime, I've just been working on with my own personal client, which I started at the very end of last school year. And so I designed a den, a bedroom, and a bathroom for her. And that project actually went really well. I just ordered all of the furniture pieces today, and got that taken care of. But the whole process has been really fun because it's been exactly like what we've done at school for our little test projects.
Good.
So I went in and I did field measurements and I did space planning, and I did 3 different kind of design styles for her and spatial arrangements. And I picked out different furniture. It also got me to, so I had already had my business registered. And so now I'm registered with the trade for several different companies within the merchandise mart, which has been good and has been a really informative process. I actually thought it was going to be, I was very intimidated by doing that. And I thought that it was going to be really tricky and kind of like jumping through hoops and ladders. I was worried about kind of different personality types and people thinking, oh, this is just a designer who's fresh out of school working for herself. every single person that I've talked with has been so nice, has been so accommodating, has bent over backwards to help me, has been really open and sharing information, which I find really nice too, and just kind of refreshing. So I would say to any of you guys who, like me, were maybe intimidated by making those initial connections, just call and get started, because that's all it takes. I mean, it's a very easy, straightforward process. And I'm finding more and more that kind of people within the industry really just are like-minded, and they seem to want to help other designers out. So that's been good. You know, I haven't had any hiccups with this project, which I guess is probably a blessing for me because I am on my own. So it's been really smooth sailing, but I'm really excited to start working alongside a designer and kind of getting immersed in some of those things that everybody else was talking about, you know, making those relationships with the trade, learning about different sourcing of materials, which I know several people have kind of touched on. That's one of the things that's, I mean, you learn through experience, right? What is out there, and what your go-to spots are going to be. So, I think that just all comes in time, but I'm excited to work alongside somebody else to just get a little bit more information on that kind of stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said, so I didn't see your email yet today, but I was busy all day.
No worries.
I'll check that this evening.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying that I would reach out to her today.
Good.
So, yeah, so thank you
Yeah.
so much for sending that.
She Cindy knows that you're, I mentioned that you're going to be, she should watch for something from you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, and Ira.
All right. Hello, hello.
Oh,
So I am at Banner. I've been there for a year and a half at this point, which sounds scary considering that I started when I was already in school. So I mainly am a salesperson in plumbing, but when people need a design consultation or advice, of course, I jump in. So yeah, I do anything for the bathroom except for the tile. So cabinetry, toilets, shower systems. I have help with layout if that's something that clients need. A lot of the times it's just like a simple renovation where they just want to update some fixtures. But I do also have some projects where it's either a new build or they completely got the bathroom and we start from scratch. I do work with designers as well. And yeah, again, mostly just on the bathroom part. We do have our specialist in a kitchen. I don't really do that right now because they work in 2020 and we have like limited amount of keys for that.
mhm.
But I do shadow them sometimes, and we are like updating a lot of our kitchen displays, so like completely from scratch. And I kind of have been in the process of selections. And we also are going to do a new suite in the bathroom department, and kind of like every salesperson and designer chipped in with their opinions, and we kind of like all get together. We have our meetings, and like everyone says like what would they want to see there. So yeah, that's pretty fun.
So you're enjoying it at Banner?
Yeah, it's a great company. I love our team. Fantastic people, management, great.
Excellent.
Yeah, like, of course, I don't get to design like everything. I'm only in the bathroom. So that's kind of like one thing that I'm missing, because I would love to design the whole house. But yeah, but it's a fantastic job.
Excellent. And you work with PJ, who also is a Harper graduate.
Yep. I believe she graduated in like 2019, I think. Yeah. And this is pretty much her first like big girl job, and she's still there. It's been over 5 years.
Yep.
She's very happy there, and she's amazing.
Yep.
She's doing a really good job too.
Yeah, well, and PJ had mentioned she came to Harper a few maybe last year, a year and a half ago, something like that. I think that's you met PJ.
Yep, that's right. That's where we met, and yeah, I got invited to an interview, and I've been there since.
Well, so PJ had mentioned at that time that I didn't know, I wasn't teaching internship at the time, but that when she got the internship at Banner,
That's right.
like, I got to get something like Banner, like plumbing, not exciting. And then she went and learned what it actually means to work at Banner. It's not just pipes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was literally me going on an interview. I went mainly because like I just wanted to get out of my old job. I hated it so much. And I was like, okay, I'm going to an interview to sell pipes. Got it. Let's see like what they're gonna pay me. But like I just want to get out of my old job. And I went to the showroom and I just saw like everything is just like shiny and amazing. And I'm like, this is plumbing? Like, hold on.
Yeah.
This is amazing. So yeah. And I mean, most of you guys probably got to see it in Larry's class when you went for a field trip in the spring.
Well, I'm happy to know that it's a good company. So,
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, Ira, I took your business card when we went there.
Yeah, anytime.
So so that's, one of the things that is, you already are like meeting people that are graduates of Harper. You also know, you are classmates with everyone here. And so you are all like future connections in the design business.
Yep.
So
If anyone needs plumbing, I'm your girl.
and keep each other, so like if you don't have a business card, get one made so that you can easily just like hand someone your information. If because sometimes it's just simpler to hand someone a card rather than say like, oh, here, take down my contact info. You're gonna stop, get
Yeah.
out the phone. Just have something to give to people. And if you get business cards, have a place to put them so that you don't lose them. A little container, a drawer, someplace where you will put them, that they will be, so that when you think like I need to get in touch with this person I knew at Harper, and you can do it. Just very valuable to have these connections. And my old friend Christy Yarbrough, some of you have, I think, have seen her speak at Harper. Maybe it's been a little while. She was a Harrington student. She works as she's like the design director for Allison Victoria, who does that Windy City Rehab show, which I haven't seen. I avoid reality TV shows myself. But Christy started out, her first job out of Harper was with someone that she knew, or I'm sorry, her first job out of Harrington, someone that she was in a class with. And she said she remembers when she was in the class with this person, she did not particularly like the person. Just different personality, different vibe, whatever. She wasn't like nasty to her, but she's just like not her kind of person. 2 years later, she's like, gets like a call from someone, and it was this woman that was in her class, and she said, we need someone to do renderings, and I remember that your renderings were the best of anyone in the class. Are you available? So she's like, sure. So she went and met, and it was like her first independent job. And it was, you know, it was a like a freelance gig, but it was her first real job, and it was because of someone that knew her from school and remembered that she was really like good at like, you know, perspective drawing, marker rendering, and they needed it. And so she called her, and she said, you know, she told me once, she's like, you know, I honestly didn't like her in school, but I'm glad I never said anything to her. Like, I'm glad I just didn't express that to her because there was
Yeah,
no.
and just in general, like this whole design community, like if if you work independently, maybe not, but like I'm trying to go to all these like kind of events from my SID and like anything design related, even like slightly, it's all the same crowd. You see the same people there.
Yeah.
And like you can't escape it. Like unless you literally just work with the customers
Yeah.
and you never go anywhere, and but you will go somewhere because you have to have your installers, you have to have contractors, plumbers, electricians.
Yeah.
So yeah, so small world.
A professional. And you will, you know, people, you will come across people again. You'll see people later, next year, 5 years, 10 years down the road. And it's just nice to be able to, like, when you see someone, just say like, oh, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a long time. Rather than like, oh, I better like go, like you try to avoid somebody at a, you know, at an event because it's like, oh, you know, like we had it out once, but so, but it's, you know, but it's, I mean, so all that, you know, that's kind of like a, you know, I don't want to make it too negative, but you are all peers, you are all you know, current and future contacts for each other in this business. So,
Duffy, would you, or I guess this is a question for everybody, like, would people be willing to, you know, do a list of all of us, where we're at and what our contact is?
that's a good, I would do that. If you like send me like a little, like an email with just like a little snippet, like contact, and like even just if like you want to share phone information with each other, like how to contact, like email, phone, or just email. Um, and like, yeah, where you're working right now. You know, because I mean, some of you are going like staying where you're at, you know, indefinitely possibly. So it's good to know who's, you know, who is doing what.
That would be great. And I like in hindsight regret not being better about that, like as I've gone through my coursework, because there's people I definitely, even on this like phone call, I'm like, oh, you know, you remember a face and you're not quite sure how to keep in touch with everyone.
Well, I can help with that. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. This was fun. It's always nice to hear more like what you're doing. So, our next meeting is the last week. It's the last meeting in the like end of July. So I'll send you a Zoom link for that. And at that one will be just like a summary of what you're doing. And also to make sure that everyone's clear on like, this is what you need to submit. The midterm, I guess it's your midterm activity report. If you could submit that this week, if you haven't already, there is a form in Blackboard. It is in assignments. And it says midterm activity report. And I have it set as submission is there. It is open. It was not open because when I created it, I changed one date, and then there's another date where it was still the deadline for the spring, and so it didn't activate it. But it's all straightened out now. Okay?
I had a quick question. As far as like the resume and cover letters go, will we be getting feedback or should we kind of just, okay,
I will read them and give you some, and just tell you, make some suggestions if I feel that you need them.
okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I also have a quick question.
Yeah.
I think I spoke to you earlier, Duffy, but in terms of that last meeting, that exact date, I am flying out at 4:45 p.m. to Poland. Could I be in communication to either meet with you earlier or like send you an email of what I need or submit it earlier?
Yes,
Okay, awesome.
or don't go to Poland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
School.
family things. I do.
My grandmother would say, don't go to Poland.
Fair.
But that's my grandmother. She was like, school, work, family, like, we're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but yes, we'll set some, we'll talk, we can make an arrangement.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I recorded this, so I'll put it up on YouTube later in case anyone, like, mostly for the people that were not here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Good night.
you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.